Hello, and welcome to News Now on M6. I'm Haley Booms here with
Kara Biskarner.
Here's today's top stories. On Thursday, Israel estimated that Iran could make 4 atomic bombs by further enriching uranium it already has stockpiled. Iran could produce its first bomb within a year of deciding to build one. Israel has said it would use force if necessary to prevent Tehran from acquiring nuclear weapons. However, Iran says its nuclear energy program is peaceful and aimed at generating electricity and other civilian uses.
If you're someone who likes Texas oysters, then you will be excited to know that they are soon going to be back on the menu. This time of year, most oysters come from Texas, but they have recently been imported due to a reddish-brown algae bloom known as red tide that has shut down oyster harvesting along the entire Texas coast. While red tides appear every few years in Texas, the signs of the toxin in oyster meat is disappearing to the point where they may be safe to eat once again.
On February 2nd, the famous groundhog Phil predicted that there would be another 6 weeks of winter because he saw his shadow, an unpopular decision for the people gathered for the event in Philadelphia. The press assured guests that the Inner Circle group decides the prediction in advance. Since 1886, Phil has seen his shadow 100 times and hasn't seen it only 16.
The United States Coast Guard Investigative Service is trying to identify the source of many fake distress calls that have been made over the past 2 years. The Coast Guard says these calls that lead to pointless searches are a waste of their time and taxpayer money. Investigators believe the calls are coming from southeast Michigan near Monroe. A reward is being offered for any information that leads to the conviction of whoever is responsible for these calls.
3 men, Anthony Lindsay, Trevor Mann, and Corey Shelton, were arrested this past week on several charges, including home invasion and assault. On January 26th, the 3 men broke into an apartment in Port Huron, taking turns pistol whipping the man who lives there.
Last Tuesday, the Community Foundation of St. Clair County gave SC4 a $75,000 challenge grant for the McMorran Greenway and Street Closure project. For every dollar their campaign raises, the Community Foundation will match it with 50 cents. This is the largest pledge towards the $1 million SC4 campaign. They have 2 years to raise the $150,000 so they can get full match from the Community Foundation.
I really hope they can raise that money.
Yeah, they really deserve it.
They need it. Now to Reed with the sports.
Thanks, Haley. Legendary trainer Angelo Dundee died at the age of 90 last Wednesday. Dundee was known as the greatest ambassador to the sport of boxing. He coached 15 world champions, including Carmen Basilio and Jose Napoles. Dundee was most known for his positive attitude in the ring, always encouraging his boxers to keep fighting. Dundee also coached Muhammad Ali in his iconic fight with Joe Frazier, one of his proudest moments. In the recruiting class of 2012, the Texas Longhorns signed Jonathan Gray, one of the most sought-after recruit of the year. Gray was overall ranked 2nd overall in the national recruiting class. He's going to be a very big part of Texas's ground game, running a 4.53 in the 40-yard dash, and the fastest time was a 4.30. The Marysville High School varsity wrestling team is going to be competing at North Branch for team districts tonight. This team is looking great with their lineup. Good luck, boys. Come back with the district title. We will be waiting for you. We'll be back with more after this.
My Jamie, she was my baby girl, my precious baby girl. When Jamie was a teenager, she would spend her lunch hours going to the tanning salons. I didn't realize how dangerous they were. If you tan when you're young, your risk for melanoma are increased by 75%. That's huge. What I would say to mothers that allow their daughters to tan, no mother should have to visit their daughter in a cemetery. 1 person an hour dies from melanoma. Jamie's hour was at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday, March 16th, 2007. I hope no one else has to mark their hour.
This message is brought to you by the American Academy of Dermatology.
Welcome back to News Now. Haley, I hear you have a really good story about the FBI making a big mistake that's going to cost them.
Yes, they do. On February 1st, the FBI used a chainsaw blade to cut through the door of a Massachusetts woman's apartment. They held her and her young daughter at gunpoint for 30 minutes. Realizing they were conducting a raid on the wrong apartment, they apologized and are paying for the damages.
In Sweden, Isekan Johnson, known as Skara Cannibal, and Michelle Gustafsson, known as Vampire Woman, hope to get married. They met at a high-security psychiatric ward.
Well, that's going to be one crazy wedding. Now to Melissa with school.
Thanks, Haley. On February 29th, there will be a Know How to Go meeting for juniors and their parents for college information. It will be held in the high school's media center from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. Anyone who comes will receive a free college survival kit. It is recommended that you bring any college-related information you have received. To register, please contact Mrs. Reed in the counseling office. Students who want to improve their ACT have the opportunity this month at St. Clair Community College. The cost is $25 per class. The dates are on the 11th and the 18th. Registration forms are available in the counseling office. The Bridges Group at Marysville High School is having a candygram sale starting February 2nd to the 9th. The candy will be sent out on February 14th. Show somebody you care and buy your Valentine something sweet. We'll be back with more after this.
My name is Amanda. I'm 21 years old. I have lots of friends that use tanning beds that lay out in the sun all the time, and I tell them about Jamie. Jamie was in her early 20s when she was diagnosed with melanoma, and she died right before she turned 30. Jamie's death caused me to stop tanning completely. Before that, in high school, I wanted to be dark and look good in a prom dress or a bathing suit. In high school, it was the thing to do. But after Jamie's death, I completely stepped away from tanning beds and never went back. I know now tanning can cause the worst possible skin cancer you could get. People think tanning is safe. I don't think it's safe. You could die just like Jamie did.
This message is brought to you by the American Academy of Dermatology.
Welcome back to News Now. Well, Kara, I heard we have some interesting news about science.
That's for sure.
Let's go to Ashley Locke.
Thanks, Haley. On January 16th, NASA's Grail lunar spacecraft captured video of the far side of the moon. A quick view of the 57-second video reveals that the dark side of the moon is riddled with impact craters. The Grail spacecraft will continue to send pictures to the Earth that will then be studied by 2,500 middle schools across the U.S. With a constant search for new energy resources, could solar power be the way to fuel the future? Maricopa, Arizona plans on constructing a 125-megawatt solar-powered plant. This will save thousands of dollars on energy. If all goes as planned, this new solar plant should be up and running by 2013.
Yes, we do have some more entertaining stories. Stephanie?
With it being the beginning of the year, there have been many new movies in theaters. This past week, The Grey being at #1 and Underworld Awakening, For the Money, Red Tails, and A Man on Ledge being the top 5 for this past week. Next Tuesday is Valentine's Day, and what better way to celebrate the holiday weekend than a night at the movies? A wonderful romantic comedy, The Vow, starring Rachel McAdams and Channing Tatum, is the story of a husband trying to make his wife fall back in love with him after she lost her memory in a car crash. If you're not into romantic comedies, then there's always the action thriller Safe House. After a safe house in South Africa is attacked, rookie CIA operative played by Ryan Reynolds is on a run with the former intelligence officer played by Denzel Washington. And let's not forget the kids. Journey to the Mysterious Island, the sequel to 2008's Journey to the Center of the Earth, promises to be just as good as the original, with fun for the whole family. All 3 of these movies will be in theaters starting February 10th. Are you stressing out about who might take your vote in the presidential race? Not too crazy about Barack Obama? What about Roseanne Barr? The Emmy Award winner has filled out all the necessary paperwork to enter the running as a Green Party candidate. She has confirmed her entrance by tweeting, "If people will merely do as I tell them to just this one time, I promise everything will get better quickly for the majority." Well, that's pretty interesting. Maybe we can finally have a girl president.
That'd be nice to have.
Or it just might be too crazy.
Well, from all of us here at M6, have a nice day.